I understand that you are a service dog handler as well.
I am.
How and why did you get into that? And like, what are your thoughts on breeding service dogs?
I have main actually reason why I ended up getting a service dog was I was diagnosed with PTSD and it was pretty severe. I couldn't leave the house, and even when I did leave the house, if I would just end up it would not be a good situation. And then I was diagnosed with POTS shortly after. And it became really dangerous. So POTS is postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. I just will pass out. And it became really dangerous when I would have a PTSD episode and then also and I'd start almost dissociating. And then I would have a POTS episode at the same time. So then I didn't realize how I was feeling and I was passing out a lot. Simba naturally picked up on it, which is not always, doesn't always happen. Typically you have to train for it. So he naturally started alerting for when I was having a POTS episode.
What did he
So
do?
he literally started nudging my leg. He'd just nose my leg. And I'm like, what are you doing? And then he started pawing me. And I'm like,
Aw.
and I started I got a Fitbit at the time and I was like, oh, my heart rate is really high. And so I changed it to a different cue because nudging me didn't always work because sometimes it wasn't as a focused response. So even though I know controversial, people didn't like how I trained him because I would actually have him trained to almost jump up onto my lower stomach to paw me, get my attention that way. Just because I was still having the issues with my PTSD not being 100%. So it was just more of an alert for me. I started training for that. I couldn't find anyone local to me. So I actually relied on a lot of actually great YouTube videos. And then I worked with a local trainer for just getting him to walk better on leash and stuff like that. And then I found a couple service dog. I'm still friends with them that kind of helped me train some other stuff with him, but that's how I got into service dog training. I don't think you can actually just straight breed for service dogs. I know there's programs that do it, but also if you look at their programs, there's also a lot of them that don't even make it. Breeding for a service dog is very hard. Do I have a goal of would I love to be able to breed and keep a puppy back to possibly train as a service dog to donate to someone, because it was extremely hard for me to even try to even get a program dog because they said I wasn't disabled enough or because my PTSD wasn't combat PTSD.
Oh, wow.
So there's a lot of programs that it's just combat PTSD, but if you have PTSD for any other reason, they don't care. So is that a goal? Yes. Is it very unrealistic that I'm going to have a puppy from every litter that's going to be a service dog? Yes. It's very hard. The loss out rate is extremely hard. So I don't think you can just have a program solely based on breeding unless you're a bigger, was it Southeastern guide dogs? Because they have guide dogs and they also do I think some of their dogs actually just go to if they aren't, because guide dogs are extremely, extremely hard to train because they're leading the blind, versus some that they might not be a great guide dog, but they can be a good service dog for someone. I think having a small program, it's going to be incredibly hard to just always breed for service dogs because the rate that they wash out is extremely high. So if it happens once, and I can be happy with that.
What do you think makes Cocker Spaniels good service dogs?
So their actual temperament, even though I know most groomers are only familiar with the really bad temperament ones, or I meet a lot of people that are oh, my grandma had a cocker, but it was vicious. Because they did get really, really popular. I think it was in the 70s or 80s. So they were really, really popular. At one time they were the number one breed in in the country, how the Frenchies are now. And then they were so backyard bred that's when the cocker rage syndrome and stuff was coming more about. They're actually supposed to be a very affectionate, gentle, and happy breed. Something I hear all the time when I'm at different dog shows or even the national I went to last year for them. It says in our temperament, it says above all they must be merry. So they're supposed to be a very merry, happy. I almost kind of explain it to someone who doesn't really know anything about dogs. Imagine a golden retriever, they're always great, they're always happy. They're supposed to be like that, almost, but a small cocker. They do have different drives and stuff like that. Cockers I don't think are as have as much prey drive as a golden can. But my boys definitely do have a higher prey drive than my girls do. There was a squirrel out in the backyard a couple months ago before we got all the snow, and Alice wanted nothing to do with it. My two boys took off trying to get it. So I have been told by many people overseas that Cocker Spaniels can be a pretty common service dog over there versus here, because I think people just always think a big, the Goldens, the Labs, the Poodles, bigger dogs for service dogs.
Yeah.
But small dogs can be great service dogs too. I met a Yorkie that was a fantastic service dog, and I think she was more allergy detection, so she could have a smaller dog for that.
Mm-hmm.